And of course, former Mayor Cianci was a well-known and popular radio personality, most recently on WPRO. And our own Kim Kalunian was his co-anchor for nearly 2 years. So what's your reaction to the news today?
Shannon, it's surreal. That's really all I can say. It's kind of shocking to know that Buddy Cianci has truly left us. You know, his reputation was larger than life in many ways. People who didn't know anything about Rhode Island knew about Buddy. So it's just shocking, sad, and very surreal to hear the news that Buddy has passed.
Now, you got to work with Buddy on such an up-close and personal basis. What was it like behind the scenes?
So behind the scenes, it was funny. He would slide into his show just as I was finishing the 3 o'clock news. He was always on the move, always on the go. Whenever Buddy was sitting still, which was rare, he was on the phone, networking, collecting intel and information. Nothing could happen in the city of Providence without Buddy knowing it. And the other interesting thing that happened was his run for mayor again. And because he took a break from the station at that time, I got to cover him as a reporter. So seeing him in the field with constituents, shaking hands, knowing people's names, knowing stories about their lives, he just made everyone feel like he had known them forever.
Now, what about working with him? Because even though we heard you both on the radio, you were actually separate in the station, right?
Yeah, it's sort of a weird thing. Of course, we talk to each other on the radio like we're in the same place, but we were in separate rooms. So I rarely ever saw Buddy, but we spoke to each other every day. He would toss to me at the top and bottom of the hour, and one of his things that he always did was say "inch beses," which means in Armenian, "How are you?" And he actually told me the proper way to respond, which even though I'm Armenian, I should have known that. He was the one who told me how to respond.
I have to imagine that was the way he was with so many people. He found a way to relate to them. What moments stood out to you the most from your time working so closely with him?
Well, definitely his re-election bid for mayor of Providence. It was so interesting to see him in that dynamic, in that role. And I remember the day that he was supposed to declare. So his show ran from 3 to 6 o'clock, and he had until 4 o'clock in the afternoon to tell us if he was actually going to run for mayor of Providence. And of course, he used that full first hour of his show to keep us all on our toes and guessing. And at 3:30, he tossed to me and he said, "Kim, what's the news of the day?" And I said, "Well, Buddy, we're all waiting for you." I mean, he was the news of the day, and I think he absolutely loved having that captive audience and that attention.
Oh, well, some really nice insights from you, Kim. Thank you so much for sharing those and for joining us. And